117 has launched. Tracking now. Charlie Oscar, 34.80667. What happened?
Did you crash those computers?
Yes, sir.
Hello everyone, I'm Johnny, and today we're taking a look at The Men Who Stare at Goats, the movie. This is a movie with some real interesting history and some sensational history. It's got some scenes that are funny and some scenes that are serious, and often the tone of the movie is a bit out of place, but it's worth checking out. So let's take a look. I'll start with the cast, which compelled me to watch it. Ewan McGregor, George Clooney, Jeff Bridges, Robert Patrick, Stephen Lang, Nick Offerman, and Kevin Spacey. I will tell you right now, none of these characters are pushed to act or deliver any award-winning performances. You get the sense they were all just told to have fun with their roles. Certainly the self-referential scenes highlight this the most.
What's a Jedi warrior?
You're looking at one.
You were a Jedi warrior.
That's correct.
The movie's objective is lighthearted fun over a serious telling of historic events. The movie is inspired by a non-fiction book of the same name by John Ronson. The book, like the movie, explores the military's funding of paranormal and psychic research. This research started in the 70s and was completely fantastical and unscientific. And the book and the movie tried to explore this work's connection to the more scientific study of psychological warfare today. The entertaining side of the movie will come from the experimental 1970s research. The US Army did genuinely fund and entertain concepts such as those shown in the movie. One such project was the Stargate Project, established in 1977 by the Defense Intelligence Agency. Remote viewing as shown in the movie was something the Army entertained, including a whole host of other psychic attempts, from bending spoons to, yes, reportedly even seeing if a man could stop a goat's heart by staring at it. What influenced the Army in part to consider funding research into this field was the human potential movement of the 1960s, a counterculture movement where millions of Americans believed in the untapped power of the human mind, experimenting with drugs, spirituality, martial arts, yoga, rituals of all kinds, you name it, to unlock the potential of their minds. Watching the Army explore such methods is naturally entertaining in the film, but the movie also blends these undertakings with the darker side of American government psychological research. Projects such as MK Ultra was a CIA human experimental program which sought to alter human behavior using drugs such as LSD, and even included experiments with electroshock, hypnosis, and sensory deprivation. This program was halted in 1973, as far as we know. The story is for the most part a story of redemption. Two of our main characters, played by George Clooney and Jeff Bridges, were part of the hippie side of the historic psychic program, run during their service. Soldiers such as they wanted to become men who could conquer battlefields with love, or at least alternatives to violence. But these programs are shut down, with more brutal and realistic programs staying in place. The story spans several decades and into the Gulf War, when military prisoners, as they still are, were subject to psychological torture. Most notably used during this time was the infamous Barney, "I Love You" song, reportedly played at loud volumes for hours on end, on a constant repeat cycle. The redemption for our protagonists will be, at least to rescue some of these detained men from such a fate. If you're going to enjoy The Men Who Stare at Goats, you'll have to accept the movie only scratches the surface of psychological warfare and torture. In fact, it takes some very serious and heavy subjects and highlights them almost in a skit format. The movie is so satirical and quick with its messaging, it almost loses the audience. You really have to stop and think about the seriousness of some of the scenes, like the soldier on LSD shooting a gun into men on parade. The movie further highlights how such programs are put in place to counter enemy programs, which is a great take on the foolishness and waste that exists within the military-industrial complex. We often forget that the Army wastes millions not just on experimental equipment, but on undertakings that are often just complete charades to entertain theories. However, the movie brushes past this concept so quickly, it may not even have been an intended theme of the movie. This is the downside of the movie. It's kind of directionless. It's half serious, half satire. The characters aren't quite developed enough with their objectives to draw you in. Despite this, I think the movie could be more powerful of a watch today, as it does certainly underscore the power of a confident crackpot, the deluded but self-assured con man. Today, just as in the age of the human potential movement, gurus sell their counterculture lifestyle and hacks more feverishly than ever in the age of the internet influencer. Alright, I'm Johnny. Thanks for watching. Do check out Men Who Stare at Goats, the movie. If anything, it should make you laugh at least for a few scenes and perhaps spark some interest in this unusual subject. Anyway, if you want to support the channel, do like, subscribe, or comment. There, I think you just subscribed. I appreciate it. Anyway, do take care. Have a nice rest of your day.